Working from my laptop 100% of the time, I have a dual monitor here at my home office. The problem is when I travel or I go away for a weekend or something like that and I just have to take this, I really miss having my dual monitor. So I came across this one. It's a triple screen laptop screen extender. So let's put it together. Let's see how easy it is for someone who has no technology background whatsoever. Follow along and let's see. Like I said, I know nothing about technology. So when this said plug and play, I thought, oh, we're going to find out just how easy this really is. Because if I can get 3 screens working without calling someone for help, pretty much anybody can. So let's do this together. The first thing I did was take everything out of the box. And I have to say, the screens were bigger than I expected. These are 15.6-inch screens, and I actually really like the size. If I'm going to work on all 3 different screens, I want to be able to actually see what I'm doing. You get the dual monitor setup, the power adapter, the carrying case, and all the different cables that you may need. And this was where I initially thought, oh boy, why so many cords? But don't let that intimidate you. They give you different cords because not every laptop has the same connections. For my laptop, I only needed 2 USB-C cables, one for each additional screen. So I plugged one into the side, plugged the other into the other side, and that was basically it. No big installation process, no downloading a bunch of stuff. I didn't have to figure out what half of these other cables were for because my laptop didn't need them. Next, I set up the actual monitors. There's a kickstand in the back so the monitors aren't hanging off my laptop screen. I just opened up the stand and adjusted it until everything felt stable. Then your laptop just sits right here in the center. The section adjusts depending on the size of your laptop, so I moved mine until everything was sitting where I wanted it. And then I adjusted the angle of the screens. That's another thing that I really like because I'm short, my desk setup is probably different from yours. I don't necessarily want my monitor sitting completely straight. I could tilt everything until I had an angle that was comfortable for me. At this point, I was thinking that was actually easy, but I only had 2 screens working, and this is actually the kind of thing that normally makes me think that I did something wrong. So this happens to you, don't panic. I figured it out that I needed to go into my computer settings, hit display, and when I looked at the screens, I could only see 1 and 2. Well, now I've got 3, so there's my issue. So I had to change my display setting, select the option to extend my desktop, and hit apply. And look at that, 1, 2, 3, all 3 showing on the screen. I genuinely had a little I did it moment because I was expecting this to be a lot harder to set up. And once all 3 were working, that's when I understood why people who work on multiple monitors never want to go back to one. I have all 3 completely different things open at the same time. I have an Amazon open over here, email, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, I could have it. I'm not constantly minimizing something to open another tab, forgetting what I was looking at, going back. Everything now is right in front of me. And the mouse, that's another question I had. I thought it might be awkward trying to move between the 3 different screens. Nope, I can move my mouse right to left, left to right, no issues at all. Once I had the displays arranged correctly in my settings, it felt completely natural. I can grab something over here, move it back to the center, then go back to the right over to the other screen. This is where I started thinking, where has this been? Especially if you work from your laptop. At home, you might already have multiple monitors, but what happens when you have to leave, when you have to travel? You go from this big workspace back to this little laptop screen. That's exactly why I wanted something like this. I can take my normal 3-screen setup with me. I can work somewhere else in the house, take it to the hotel, travel with it, work outside the home, and still have all this screen space. Text was easy for me to read, websites looked clear, and even the volume was better than I expected. Once I was done, I wanted to see how annoying this would be to pack everything back up. And again, really easy. I just unplugged everything, folded it back down, and that's it. And put it in the carrying case that came with it. Although I did end up getting myself a different bag that was big enough to hold both the monitor setup and my laptop together. Because for the way I'm going to use it, I'd rather have everything in one bag. So as you can see, not too bad for a girl who doesn't know how to do technology and figured it out on her own without her kids. So if I can do it, you can too.